If this is what we're going to see all season, I've got a. Oh, it doesn't count. All right. As the Eagles walking off after a preseason loss to the New York Jets, 24-21. There's a guy with a credential, and pretty soon the players will follow. But let me bring in voiceover Barrett Brooks and of course Reuben Frank, as we are now on set. It's preseason for everybody, and we don't even have the whole squad here, but we got the squad. You know what I mean? Barrett Brooks, Reuben Frank, I'm Michael Barkann as we welcome you to Eagles PostGame Live. I thought it was going to be an Eagles last-minute win. Unfortunately, it was an Eagles last-second loss. But really, let's talk about the first drive because that's all anybody cares about. And Jalen Hurts, 6 for 6 as they go up 7-0, then 14-0 after he comes out. And they win that part of it, which is the most important thing.
Absolutely. You know, the offense came out and showed exactly what we needed them to see. We wanted to see Jalen go through his progressions. He did that. When he did get forced out the pocket, he made some plays. The offense scored on the first drive. I can't ask for anything more from the starters going in there. Defensively, they go out and do the same thing. They stop them, turn around, they get an interception. They then go in and score again. That's what we needed to see from both the ones on the defensive side and the offensive side. That was complete.
Here's Nick Sirianni now coming up the tunnel, and any win's a good win with his guy Dom DeSandro coming off as well. Yeah, well, you're right. Thank you. I'm going by the first series, Reuben. Don't stop me. I'm on a roll. It's a tiny detail. They're 0-1 in the preseason. But when you look at this, Barrett, I don't know how you take it if you're a team member because it is a loss officially in the books, but your first team played well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's basically what they're trying. They're trying to get to. They're trying to get to the season. And when you see your starting quarterback take a hit like he took a hit on the first drive, you knew we weren't going to see him again. You know, even though you would like to see Jalen Hurts go out there and just, show more of his development as a player. But, hey, at this point, I saw what I needed to see, and he played well enough that he didn't need to play. In fact, he probably won't see the field for the rest of preseason.
Reuben, your sense of this as we watch the team come off, most of the jerseys are clean. You like that? That means no one hit the ground. But what did you make of this one?
Well, there was a lot to like about the way Jalen played football tonight. And I thought, I liked that he used the whole field. I liked that he used a lot of different receivers. He had 2 to Miles, 2 to Quez, 1 to Jack Stoll. He spread the ball around. I thought he was decisive. He got rid of the ball quickly. He was accurate. All the things we've kind of talked about over the offseason that he needs to do, he did. Now, it's one series. It's one preseason game. He's got to do it consistently. But I was encouraged by what I saw. I thought he delivered the ball on time, accurately. Other than the 1 third down, actually the one where he was hit out of bounds for the personal foul, I thought he made the right decision on every snap, where to go with the ball. If there was nothing down the field, he went underneath to Miles. Miles actually caught it a couple times, which is good to see. So,
what do you think of him, number 11, Rube? First game?
I thought he didn't have any drops, so he didn't have any catches. Look, he's going to be fine. He's the least of your worries, right? I mean, he's going to catch the ball when it comes his way. But the fact that they could drive down the field so easily without Devontae Smith in the game, without AJ getting targeted at all, that tells you this offense is ready to go.
Agree, Bear?
Yes, I do. And you talk about that offensive line. Cam went out there and played well. Cam Jurgens.
He's a beast.
He played phenomenal. He played the whole first half. And, I saw some things from him that, gives me a lot of hope for, this point going forward. And somebody's going to come in and replace a probable, Hall of Famer in Jason Kelce. So,
how about Brandon Graham playing his first football since week 2 last year?
He's so quick, man. So quick.
Still,
yes.
As many years as 14 seasons in.
So quick. There's a lot of guys that played well. I think that, Lane came out, like gangbusters. Suopeta, the reason why Jalen got pushed out of the pocket and he had to run down the field was because Suopeta got beat on the play, which forced him out of the pocket and went right. But other than that, the offensive line played well with the starters.
We're going to hear from Nick Sirianni coming up, interviews as well, continued analysis on this opening pregame and postgame live pregame of the Eagles season. When you look at Cam Jurgens, man, I don't know what folks expected, but he really acquitted himself well. He's going against the Jets' top D. He's playing the entire first half. Reuben, you just heard what Barrett said. When you see him play, is there any doubt that he's the guy once Jason Kelce leaves this game?
Yeah, you have to be encouraged. And look, we don't know for sure Kelce will be back by opening day. I think he will. The Eagles are very confident he will. But if he's not, it's good for Cam to get all this work. I thought he played great tonight.
Yes.
I mean, he is so athletic. You don't want to make the Kelce comparison. It's not fair to either one of them.
Yep.
But that's how he plays. He plays the game the same way with tremendous leverage, tremendous balance, power, speed, athleticism.
Nastiness.
He does have some nastiness in him. He's a tough, strong guy. So I loved what I saw from him. And he played the whole first half, played with the ones, played with the twos. Because you got to get him ready because you don't know for sure that Kelce will be back. And if he's not, I think the Eagles are in good hands at center.
Also, we know he's not next year. He said he'd come back. Everybody wondered about his future. He said, yes, I'm going to play one more year. And that brought cheers from the fandom and observers of this team. The guy is likely a future Hall of Famer, and that's all well and good. But we have an issue sometimes in this town where we don't want to say goodbye to our sports heroes. And I get that. If he's unable to play week 1 or even week 2, this guy fills the void aptly, doesn't he?
Exactly. That's why he played the first half. My rookie year, I had to play every single rep of every single preseason game we had because they were getting me ready for the season. I was starting left tackle. I was going to play it against the cream of the crop, Charles Haley, Mr. White, you guys call him Reggie White, guys like that, so Chris Dolman. So I had to go out there and play every single play. They got him a lot of work the whole first half, and Cam Jurgens showed that he's not going to miss a beat. This offense won't miss a beat with him being in there. He'll just need to learn the little things, the little idiosyncrasies as far as playing the game, recalling, where the mic is, to stop a blitz from coming over here. But that just comes with experience. As he plays the game more, I think he'll be more suited to be a starter once he does become a starter in the league.
First game he's ever played in the NFL in his life. Yeah. Barrett was fighting for his life back then in '95.
Fighting for my life.
That's my
thing. That's all. Ray Rose just tell me, what are you doing? I'm fighting for my life, Coach.
The late hit on Jalen Hurts, I thought that was interesting from several different angles. One, the competitive nature of these guys. Don't think because it's a preseason game that these guys don't want to, care about each other, care for each other, have each other's backs. So when Hurts gets hit, Mailata comes over, starts bumping helmets with the Jets, and then Nick Sirianni is yelling across the field to the other sideline, Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, and eventually he got to bleep, bleep, and bleep, bleep, and they have been talking very nicely pregame, but you don't want to underestimate where these guys' heads are at.
I love seeing that, Michael. I loved seeing both of them. Jordan and Nick both have Jalen Hurts back, and I thought Jalen handled it really well. Like, at that point, he kept his cool, which is what the team needed. They didn't need him to lose it or get mad or anything. He ran back to the huddle, ran the offense, and got him in the end zone. So I loved everything about that play. I do think that guy should be ejected for hits like that.
It should. He'll get a pink slip.
He'll get fined.
Come Monday, he'll have a pink slip in his locker.
Kick him out of the game.
Yep,
get him out of there. Get him off the field. Teach him a lesson. It's not going to stop until they take strong action.
Exactly.
Like that.
And plus, when you look at that, when that happens, if Jalen Hurts would have reacted in a bad way, if he'd have jumped in the guy's face, that excited the whole team. Yep. Now Jordan Mailata, he's not going to come and just get in his face. Now he's going to come over the top rope and clothesline him, because if Hurts would have reacted in a certain way. So I am glad the way he reacted on that.
Here's the other thing, that touchdown drive, Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown on a run. Mailata's called for holding. A dubious call at best. And he comes back and hits Goddard the next play, and they score a touchdown anyway.
I wanted to see that. I actually wanted to see that. I'd much rather him throw a touchdown than to go ahead and run a touchdown. We already know that he has great feet, powerful legs. He can run anywhere he wants to go on the field. But I wanted him to show us that he can deliver a ball, run the offense with the framework we need to run it, and then, give it to guys that can go out and make plays, and that's Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is going to be a major red zone threat for him, and plus he's going to be that tight end that, every quarterback needs, as they go into the season.
You mentioned partially tongue-in-cheek that A.J. Brown had no catches tonight, but how much did his very presence open things up for that offense?
Yeah, there's going to be somebody open on every snap because of the talent they have at the skill positions. And you could just see Jalen. I thought everything just moved quickly. Everything moved quickly and snappily. Is that a word, snappily?
Snappily
it is today.
It's in Webster's. You coined it.
I just thought the whole thing looked really efficient. And that's because Jalen's mind was moving quicker than it did last year. And that's just another year in the offense, better understanding of what he's doing, and just having a sense of where his receivers are. There's a guy open, get him the ball. There was no hesitation. Look, it's one series, so I don't want to get too carried away, but I thought that was really encouraging, just how quick everything moved.
Because in OTAs, he had some interceptions. He was picked off.
Got sacked a couple times.
He got sacked a couple of times in OTAs. We heard the reports. It was very, very damning for Jalen Hurts. But when you look at this offense, and we spoke in pregame about there's one addition to this offense, to the starting offense, and that's A.J. Brown, and what that one component means to this O.
Well, it means that you have to allocate resources to him. You got to make sure as a defensive coordinator that you know where he is and bring some extra coverage to him. He's that dynamic of a player. You can't leave him one-on-one. You can't leave him somebody and nobody's over the top. So when you do that, it takes somebody out of the box that they used to keep in the box to stop the Eagles' running game. You can't necessarily do that now. Now you got to bring somebody over to either bracket him or double coverage him. That's going to open up the middle of the field for the tight end. Smitty on the backside will have some one-on-one, a lot of one-on-ones. You know how well he runs routes and creates separation with his route running. Dallas Goedert, and then you can just run the ball. Hand the ball off to Miles. This just opens up everything from an offensive standpoint because you have to account for where Mr. 11 is.
Let's talk a little bit about the running game because two running backs were out. Miles Sanders didn't play, but then you had Kenneth Gainwell out with a hip. Miles Sanders played a little, but certainly not like Jason Huntley. Boston Scott out with a concussion. When you looked at Jason Huntley, what did you see from number 32?
Well, he's a tough kid. He had a couple drops, struggled in the receiving game. I'm not sure how. He's a very tough runner. I'm not sure how well he's reading defenses. Huntley's not going to play. What I liked was the fact that Miles caught the ball when it comes down to the running backs. That's been such a big problem for him for the last couple of years. Remember his rookie year, 50 catches, over 500 yards, and you're thinking this is like Brian Westbrook receiving numbers as a running back. And then the last 2 years, he just hasn't caught the ball well. So to see him catch those two balls, not fight the ball, but secure it, catch it in rhythm, and get some yards after the catch. That was really encouraging.
Yeah, we didn't even have last year we didn't even have a screening game because he couldn't secure the ball and within the, catching it and being smooth in his transition of running up the field. We didn't get that. Well, this game we saw it from him. We needed to see that. He showed us. Now they can go forward. Now defensive coordinators have to worry about what he's doing now in the passing game.
Do you think the Eagles need a big running back, though, in the scope of things to really – you don't
I like
think
the
so?
running backs. Look, I mean, with Boston, Gainwell, and Miles, it's a lot of talent. And, I've never believed that having a big back at the goal line is really what you want. Boston Scott's a perfect goal line runner because he's got a low center of gravity, great vision, great balance, powerful, strong legs. He's a champion weightlifter in high school, state champion. And he's one of the most efficient goal line running backs in the league. So I think they're in good hands with those three backs. And Gainwell, who, like you said, didn't play, he can do a little bit of everything. He's a good receiver, good runner, picks up the blitz really well, probably the best on the team as far as picking up the blitz. So I think they're in good shape at running back.
However, this gentleman blocked for a guy that he called the bus. Do you agree? You agree with that? That they don't need a bigger back?
I don't necessarily think they need another back now because they don't have enough roster space to do it. I mean, who else can they bring in? You know, they're going to only just have 3 backs. But when you got a guy like Boston Scott, he can hide in amongst those trees. You know what I'm saying? You lose where he is, and then all of a sudden he pops out for a big play. As long as he takes care of the ball, keeps the ball in his hand, he's very adequate at going in and running in between the tackles. We see Miles Sanders. He now sees that he's not trying to run to the sideline anymore. He's taking up the field, getting that necessary yardage. I think they'll be fine with 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, you know, those type of situations, goal line situations. And plus, you know, with the weapons that they have on the outside, it's going to open up a little more than it usually is when you have like 12 personnel. Now you can spread guys out and run in between the tackles because you have more people out of the box.
You're watching Eagles Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. By the way, Phillies win tonight, 2-1 in 10 innings over the New York Mets. How about that? We'll be back with
Scherzer?
Yeah, against Scherzer. That's just a little bonus for you. We've been talking about the offense. We're going to get to the defense. We've got interviews coming for you, Nick Sirianni as well. But let's continue with the O and the line. And we discussed a little bit Cam Jurgens. But when you talk about this line, tackle to tackle, how good is it relative to the other lines in the NFL?
I mean, it's the best offensive line in the league. There's no question about that. But you could kind of tell, you could see that Hurts felt comfortable just sitting back there. He had a little bit of problem, like I said, with Sewell Payton getting beat, and he had to, you know, get out of the pocket, and that's when he ran and got hit on the sideline. But once you get, you know, Dickerson back in there and that line becomes solid, Kelsey back in there, you can only imagine how good this offensive line could be because now you have the, you know, capacity to run the ball. You can pass the ball when you want to. He can sit back there, evaluate a little better because those guys on the 2 bookends on the outside, you don't necessarily have to worry about them. They'll hold their own. But then these guys on the inside, Seumalo, Kelsey, then you have Dickerson. I like that mix-up of guys that can go out there and pound the ball and guys that can finesse and get up on the second level. So they have a good balance of really good players on that offensive line.
Dickerson sits out today as well, tonight.
Yeah, he's got a toe. He's fine. He'll be fine. But it's interesting. You know, Dickerson's not playing. Kelsey's not playing. Isaac Seumalo's playing for the first time since, week 3 last year.
And on the opposite side.
And on a new position, coming off a very serious Liz Frank injury and operation. So the whole middle 3 is kind of different, and the O-line still looked really good. So you get Dickerson back, Landon Dickerson at left guard, Kelsey back at center. Isaac gets a little more comfortable at right guard. I'm with Barrett. I think the best offensive line in football if they stay healthy.